All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, it's that time of the week, folks. My weekly picks for the NFL season. Now, things got started on the right foot as I picked the Indianapolis Colts to hold serve this past Thursday night at home against the New York Jets, but the Colts offense simply ran wild. Most importantly, Jonathan Taylor, the running back, ran wild as he tormented the Jets defense all night long. Now, with that said, we have some good games on tap for tomorrow, as well as a Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 9 in the NFL season. Now, you're going to have the 4-4 Cleveland Browns traveling to Southern Ohio to take on the 5-3 Cincinnati Bengals. Both of these teams come into this game in need of a win, and it's hard to believe, but the Cleveland Browns are 4-4, actually in last place in the AFC North. We know about the Browns releasing wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. This week. Also, on the flip side, we know about the Cincinnati Bengals needing to get back on track because a couple of weeks ago we saw them get that big win on the road against the Baltimore Ravens, and then they turned right back last week and were upset on the road by the New York Jets. So you want to know what Bengal team that you're going to get, and I think first and foremost for the Bengals, we know what Joe Burrow can do at quarterback when he's healthy. But you look at what Joe Mixon at running back has been able to do this season. I think he's going to be a key to this game and allow this passing game to open up as well as they feed off of a running attack with Joe Mixon. On the flip side, we talk about consistently the importance of the running game for the Browns, and it has not been there recently with the injuries to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and that really takes away what Cleveland is able to do offensively. So, with that said, I'm going to take Cincinnati at home by the score of 27-24. Now, in Big D, you're going to have the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys hosting the 4-4 Denver Broncos. Dallas comes into this game favored by 10 points, and they're rolling right now. I mean, a lot of us expected the Cowboys to falter last week on the road. I was not one of them. In spite of the fact that Dak Prescott was not there, as Cooper Rush came in and filled in admirably, and the Cowboys machinery kept going. Now you have a situation where Dak Prescott is back at quarterback, and he's facing a Denver Broncos team that just traded one of their best pass rushers in Von Miller to the Rams. So now you have to, if you're a Broncos player, you have to wonder, okay, are we really all in to make the postseason this year now? Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback for the Broncos, he's been up and down. And if you're the Dallas defense, you really want to go out there and try to make life uncomfortable for him. But I think the key to this game is the return of Dak Prescott. I think that the Dallas Cowboys keep rolling, and I'm going to take the boys at home by the score of 31-17. Now, somebody has to win this game, as you're going to have the 1-7 Houston Texans traveling to take on the 1-7 Miami Dolphins. And it's a situation right here. This season cannot end quick enough for both of these teams as they just simply have not gotten it together here in 2021. Of course, you expected more from the Dolphins at this point than you're getting right now. But at the end of the day, you are what you are. This game right here, it comes down to what is Tua Tagovailoa going to be able to do at quarterback for the Dolphins. As he goes, so does the tone of this team. And I mean, for Miami, it seems like it was so long ago that they got their only win of the season, and it actually was. You got to go back to week number 1 versus the New England Patriots, and even then, it was not a pretty game. However, I think this is a situation where the Dolphins will find a team that's a little worse off than them right now, and because of that, I'm going to take Miami at home by the score of 23-17. Now in the Superdome, you're going to have the 5-2 New Orleans Saints hosting the 3-4 Atlanta Falcons. And for the Saints, they got a big win last week, but they also suffered as well from the standpoint that, hey, they lost their quarterback, Jameis Winston, for the season to an ACL injury. But Trevor Simeon filled in admirably last week, and he's going to get the start right now for New Orleans. You look at this Saints defense, they're locked in, especially in the secondary. I like the playmakers that they have, and they can go out there and make life tough for Falcons veteran quarterback Matt Ryan. And of course, as Alvin Kamara goes, so does the Saints offense. And I think that trend will continue tomorrow as I'm going to take New Orleans on the road by the score of 30-20. Now at the Meadowlands, you're going to have the 5-2 Las Vegas Raiders clashing with the 2-6 New York Giants. Both of these teams have had a difficult week for different reasons. Of course, the Raiders had to release wide receiver Henry Ruggs after his unfortunate car accident, and then the New York Giants, they're dealing with some COVID issues right now. But for the Raiders, they are coming off of their bye, which gives them an opportunity to get fresh, but they still have to come east. It's a situation for the Raiders. Derek Carr has been playing some good football this year, but also Josh Jacobs at running back has been dialed in. On the flip side for the Giants, they keep finding ways to lose games. They did enough to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night, had all of the opportunities in the world to win, but they just could not get it done. I look at this game right here. I want to see how the Giants bounce back after that tough loss. And then on the flip side for the Raiders, coming east after the bye, and everything that went down, will they be up for the challenge? I'll say this. This has been a game that I've gone back and forth on all week long, but I think the Raiders have shown this season that they've been dealing very well with adversity, and I think that trend continues here. I'm going to take the silver and black on the road by the score of 24-23. Now in Charlotte, you're going to have the 4-4 New England Patriots taking on the 4-4 Carolina Panthers. And yes, both of these teams have the same record, but it's a situation where they have a different feel to them. You look at the Patriots after that slow start, after the 1-3 start, they've won 3 out of their last four, and they're heading in a different direction right now. This team believes in rookie quarterback Mac Jones, and there is some talent on the defensive side of the football for New England. On the flip side with Carolina, they started off 3-0, and then they had a 4-game losing streak, and then they were able to get back in the win column last week versus Atlanta. But right now, Sam Darnold is dealing with a shoulder issue, and on top of that, if you go back to Sam Darnold's time when he was in the AFC East as a quarterback for the New York Jets, Bill Belichick made his life very difficult. New England comes into this game favored by 3.5 points, and I think the Patriots cover that as I'm going to take New England by the score of 28-20. Now in Jacksonville, you're going to have the 5-2 Buffalo Bills, who are favored by 14.5 points, taking on the 1-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. And for Buffalo, it seems like just about every single week now, they're getting heavily favored as they're taking on one of the also rans of the NFL. We saw them a couple of times with Miami. A few weeks ago, it was the Texans. Washington was in that mix. And now it's Jacksonville. The Jaguars have no semblance of order. And now you're asking them to go out there and face one of the top teams in the AFC. If this was a home game, I would say it's a homecoming game for the Jaguars, but I mean for the Bills rather. But nonetheless, they're going to go out there and beat the brakes off of this team. And I'm going to take Buffalo on the road by the score of 34-14. Now in Baltimore, you're going to have the 5-2 Ravens hosting the 3-4 Minnesota Vikings. This game just simply comes down to the quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, he's been too up and down. You think about sheer athleticism with Lamar Jackson, but on top of that, Lamar is becoming a better quarterback right now. And as Lamar becomes a better quarterback from the pocket, that screams nightmares for the rest of the NFL. Thus, I'm going to take the Ravens in this game by the score of 30-23. Now in Philly, you're going to have the 3-5 Eagles taking on the 4-3 Los Angeles Chargers. And believe it or not, Philadelphia has yet to win a home game. You look at the Chargers, they suffered a tough one last week on the road, pardon me, at home rather, against the New England Patriots, and they want to try to get back on track. A few weeks ago, people were talking about this Chargers team as being, a possible Super Bowl contender, and they've taken a step back. The gap is closed between the Chargers and everybody else in the AFC West, and they've got to get it going. Justin Herbert is still a solid quarterback. I feel like the last couple of weeks, not only has he been forcing things, but teams have been catching up to him defensively. But you look at it, Jalen Hurts, he's been up and down at the quarterback position for Philly. And I think the Chargers need to go out there and confuse him and put some pressure on him early. This game's going to come down to the turnover battle. I give that edge to the Chargers, and I want to see how their front four is going to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. This one going to take Los Angeles on the road by the score of 27-23. Now at Arrowhead, you're going to have the 4-4 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 7-1 Green Bay Packers. Now, Kansas City comes into this game favored by a touchdown, and of course, no Aaron Rodgers at quarterback right now for Green Bay after he tested positive for COVID. A couple of years ago, we saw the Packers take quarterback Jordan Love in the first round, and they're high on him. And it's a situation where everybody else has a step up around Jordan Love. But on top of that, Kansas City, who has struggled defensively, really doesn't know what Jordan Love can and can't do. So they can't get a beat on him. Now, Green Bay is expected to have Devontae Adams back at wide receiver for this game. So that's definitely going to impact positively what the Packers can do. For the flip side, we've seen Patrick Mahomes dealing with a lot of pressure this season that he has not been accustomed to in years past at the quarterback position for the Chiefs. And, it's a situation where I think this Packers defense will be up for the challenge. Green Bay went on the road last week and got a big win against Arizona versus Cardinals. They've had extra rest, they've had extra time to prepare for this game. And I'm going upset here. I'm going to take the Packers over the Chiefs by the score of 30-24. Now, in the NFC West, you're going to have the 7-1 Arizona Cardinals traveling to take on the 3-4 San Francisco 49ers. And for the 49ers struggling offense, they are hopeful that the return of all-pro tight end George Kittle will give them the boost that they need. But after suffering their first setback of the year last week rather, I think it's a situation where the Cardinals are looking to get back on track. You still got Kyler Murray, you still got Duke Hopkins, and you have one of the better quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL. Whole lot of nothing going on for the 49ers on offense, and I think the Cardinals defense will take advantage of that in this game. This I'm going to take Arizona in a tight one, 23-20. Now on Sunday night, you're going to have the 7-1 Los Angeles Rams hosting the 6-2 Tennessee Titans. And this game took a different spin, if you will, when Titans running back Henry was sidelined to a foot injury. Now, I know that the Titans have signed veteran and future Hall of Fame running back Adrian Peterson prior to this game, but honestly, how much can you expect from Adrian Peterson to go out there and make an impact on this game? Derrick Henry is the Titans offense, as everything that they do is predicated off of that. So now they're going to be more one dimensional, and you're going to have a pass rush led by Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and the newly acquired Von Miller pinning their ears back, going after Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill. This could be a long night for Tannehill, and because of that, I'm going to take Los Angeles at home by the score of 34-20. And finally, on Monday night, you're going to have the 3-5 Chicago Bears traveling to take on the 4-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. And for me, this game comes down to Pittsburgh's defense going up against Bears rookie quarterback Justin Fields. Justin Fields has shown some flashes, but this is a situation where he's going to have his hands full with a Steelers defense led by TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick. They're going to confuse him, and I can see the Steelers forcing at least 2 turnovers from the Bears rookie quarterback. With that said, I think Pittsburgh gets just enough out of Big Ben and offense and company on offense in this contest. And because of that, I'm going to take the Steelers at home by the score of 27-17. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And with that said, those are my picks for week number 9 here in the 2021 NFL season. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.